Direction maintenant l'Open Stage pour rejoindre Tom, qui est en compagnie de Chloé Geoffroy. C'est la cofondatrice et CTO de THEREMIA. C'est une start-up incubée ici à la station F, spécialisée dans la prédiction des effets secondaires de médicaments.
Time now for our next Station F startup section. It is a company called Thérémia, and it uses AI to enhance drug development and more accurately predict how patients are going to respond to their treatments, taking into account their gender, their age, and their ethnicity. Well, I can see you both there, joining us from San Francisco. Iris Maréchal and Chloé Geoffroy, the co-founders of Thérémia. Thanks for joining us. I just want to ask you first up, how did you come up with this idea?
So I spent the last decades in fundamental research. So I was trained as a pharmacist and engineer in chemistry and pursued with a PhD and postdoc in neuroscience, studying the mechanism of neurological disease. And during this experience, I had a big realization that really overwhelmed me. So because female animals experiment leads to too much variability, since they are too complex, most of fundamental research is led on male animal models. And this goes even further, since most of the drugs today on the market were primarily tested on men. And this combined with the fact that the drugs are developed with a one-size-fits-all methodology, so one dose for every adult, regardless of sex, gender, ethnicity, or age, doesn't make sense at all, since people metabolize drugs differently. And this leads to a big increase of side effects or decrease of efficacy for a lot of people. And since no solution today exists on the market, I really wanted to change this. And I was lucky because I was contacted by Entrepreneurs First, and I met Iris. And with our scientific and business background and also our commitment to gender equality, we decided together to change this status quo and find solutions to promote inclusive healthcare with Thérémia.
Super. So it sounds like you're moving us away from the one-size-fits-all approach to medicine. I just want to ask you both as well a bit about how Thérémia was developed. And I'm imagining you encountered quite a few challenges along the way.
Yes, indeed. So as explained by Chloé, we both met last October in a program called Entrepreneurs First. So basically, it's an incubator that is trying to match talent in order to create company. On one side, the technical talent, and on the other side, the business talent. So Chloé was clearly the scientific talent. On my side, I've spent the last year working at BCG more for pharmaceutical companies and specifically drug development. And we indeed encounter a lot of challenges along the way. So we spent really the first months trying to deep dive into our idea. So we wanted to make healthcare work for everyone. It means solving a really complex topics. It means understanding human complex biology, what makes people unique, what makes them different. So it's age, weight, gender, ethnicity, but also like other medication you're taking, other disease you already got in the past. So we spent a lot of time talking to scientists in biology, in chemistry, in AI, in pharmacology. And we came up actually 5 months ago with our first algorithm, which is in itself quite a challenge. So basically, there is two parts in this algorithm. There is a biological one, trying to understand for which patient a drug is working. And there is also a molecular part, so basically more granular and like trying to understand which part of the drug make its difference in different human body. So technical part is really complicated. Beside that, you actually need a lot of patient data and high quality patient data that you cannot actually find on open source on the internet, and hopefully we cannot find that open sourcely. So we achieved to unlock unique partnership to access the patient data set. We are currently working on Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's disease, and other neurological disease, on which differences between human, specifically gender, but also the age, the weight, the ethnicity are really important to understand like to what extent a drug is working on that. Wow. So then, well, basically this is a great scientific challenge, but how to create a company out of that. So the big challenge was really to try to convince companies, specifically biotechs and pharma companies, that there is a business behind that you can unlock massive revenue thanks to that. And we actually achieved that. So we are currently working with biotechs and pharma companies, and we are developing for them new version of drug that better work for them. And maybe finally, really quickly, a last big challenge for us, well, that we're facing actually every day. We are two women leading a high-tech and specifically like deep tech company. And people today still find that surprising. So they even ask like, who is the AI expert, who is the technical expert? And we both have done AI and a lot of mathematics and really scientific topics. So really surprising for 2024, but it still happened. So every day is a bit of a challenge, but we love that. And we are really excited to keep going and try to solve this challenge.
Well, good on you both for turning those stereotypes on their head. Where are you right now in terms of the rollout of THEREMIA?
Yeah, so in terms of location, we are currently in San Francisco trying to discover, well, more about the American markets, meet experts, potential clients, potential investor. And this is honestly crazy how fast it's going. We have been there for 3 weeks. We already unlock access to huge patient data sets. We signed a pilot with biotechs. We meet some investors. And we're convinced that there is a potential market in here beside the European market, which is also quite big. In terms of milestones, so we have the first algorithm working on. We are developing a lot in terms of commercial footprint. So it's the beginning, but we already signed our first clients. We actually opened our fundraising 3 days ago. So it's a bit exciting, but quite intense period. And the goal is actually to raise money to create a world-class team in order to have our first final version of the algorithm and running the pilot also running with biotech. So if you are interested, if you know any angels in a VC interested, well, please feel free to reach out. And our next step for us will be to go to Boston and to New York in order to meet angels and investors there. And we actually receive a lot of interest, so it's really encouraging.
Well, good on you. So I hope everyone's listening to that. If anyone's interested, they know who to get in touch with. That's THEREMIA. Just lastly, any final thoughts as to where you're heading? And just keep it brief, if you will.
Yeah, so basically, our goal is quite ambitious, but we really want to lead a healthcare revolution. We want that in the next few years, it will be a requirement to take into account human differences, differences in age, gender, ethnicity, weight, in the way we prescribe drug and in the way we develop drug. So in the future, we want the pharma industry that is making this medicine thinking about that and having this clear idea of like making the drug for everyone. So the idea is to create this algorithm, power the industry with it, and in the future potentially become a biotech or a pharma ourselves and create drugs that work for everyone.
Okay, well, really good luck with all of that. And thank you very much for taking the time to speak to us. Chloé Geoffroy, co-founder of and CTO of THEREMIA, and also Iris Maréchal, the other co-founder. Thank you both very much indeed for taking the time to speak to us. Up next, Julia's going to be back. She's going to be talking about perhaps the most green and energy efficient type of air travel you've ever heard of.